What is up? I'm Matt from Mount Forge, and welcome to another video about Western Montana. I'm here to tell you about all the awesome things you can do in Montana in the wintertime. In another video, I recently talked about the best time to visit Montana. If you decided that winter is the best time for you to visit, then here's a list of things that you can do on your cold weather trip to Montana. The first winter activity is skiing and snowboarding. When people think of skiing the Rocky Mountains, their minds water to places like Aspen, Colorado, or Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It blows my mind that Montana isn't higher on this list. They're known for having some of the best mountains in the world, which lends itself to some incredible skiing and snowboarding opportunities. Whitefish Mountain Resort is my favorite mountain that I've ever been to. Besides the fact that Whitefish is one of the best ski towns in America, the views from the summit are unbelievable and the mountain is huge. They even have a discounted lift ticket that gives you access to easier trails for beginners. Other notable nearby Western Montana ski resorts are Blacktail Mountain and the Montana Snow Bowl. If you're interested in visiting a little bit further south, Big Sky might be the best place for you. Big Sky's proximity to Yellowstone National Park and accessibility via the Bozeman Airport makes this place a world-class ski destination. With a mountain that boasts nearly 6,000 acres of skiable terrain, you'll find yourself feeling like you're in the Swiss Alps. A world-class ski resort, Big Sky is an incredible place for your winter ski or snowboard trip. All right, I can't. This is... okay. Ice fishing is one of the most popular winter activities in Montana. It's very common to see lots of people out on small lakes and reservoirs trying to catch a fish. There are hundreds of these lakes and reservoirs in Western Montana that make for great ice fishing. It all depends on the weather which ones will be frozen enough at what point of the year. If you've never done it before though, don't worry. There's lots of experts that would be more than happy to take you out. In places like the East Coast, if you want to go snowmobiling, normally you're only able to go in small areas or on private property in a large group, and only with a guide if you don't own your own machine. And most years, you're lucky if there's even a dozen days to go snowmobiling at all. That's not how they do it in Montana. If you own your own sled in Montana, by purchasing a trail permit, you can access hundreds of miles of groomed snowmobile trails all over. If you don't, then no worries. You can rent your own and also hire a guide to show you around the beautiful Montana backcountry. Along with horseback riding, our friends at Swan Mountain Outfitters also offer snowmobile excursions. They showed us an epic adventure, and I strongly recommend going snowmobiling this winter in Montana. You'll never forget it. Next up, we have cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. One of my favorite experiences ever at Glacier National Park was when we went snowshoeing to Three Bear Lake. Even though only a handful of places in the park are accessible during the wintertime, there's tons to still be seen. If you enjoy hiking in the summer, snowshoeing in the winter is the perfect way to get that outdoor fix before the weather gets warm. Along with snowshoeing, cross-country skiing is a very popular activity in Western Montana. It requires a bit more experience and practice than snowshoeing does, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to move swiftly through the backcountry. There are endless miles of trails that you can access cross-country skiing or snowshoeing. Make sure you check the avalanche reports daily and be aware of the dangers that avalanches pose. When hiking in the backcountry, it's very important to understand how to avoid avalanche zones and what conditions make avalanches more likely. Another one of the best winter activities in Montana is visiting a hot spring. I know what you're thinking, hot springs in Montana. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, they exist. And if you want to take a day off from the cold weather and warm yourself up a bit, you better find yourself one of these hot springs. There are a few resorts in Western Montana, but by far my favorite is Quinn's Hot Springs. Quinn's is the perfect place to enjoy Montana's hot springs. They have cabins on site and just built brand new state-of-the-art soaking pools. It's a resort that's tucked perfectly into the mountains near the Clark Fork River, and I can't forget to mention their incredible restaurant, the Harwood House. If you're looking for something that's a little less physically demanding and also doesn't expose you quite so much to the elements, consider taking a scenic flight during the wintertime in Montana. Looking at mountains from the ground up is mesmerizing, but there's something very special about looking down at some of the most beautiful mountains in the world. Fly over an icy Flathead Lake or take a scenic tour of Glacier National Park. Either way, you're going to be impressed by Montana's winter beauty. The last winter activity on the list is dog sledding. Ever since I saw the movie Balto when I was a kid, dog sledding to me has seemed like one of the most incredible things to do in the world. While it's still on my own personal bucket list, I can only imagine that there's nothing quite like having a team full of happy dogs take you on an adventure through the Montana wilderness. If you need somewhere to stay during your winter adventure, check out our 63-acre Airbnb right near Flathead Lake. It's a perfect place to explore everything Western Montana has to offer. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button for more Western Montana travel tips and amazing things to do. I'm Matt from Mountain Forge. Peace.